Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's recovered from the seminar. Tonight I have a couple of questions that are virtually impossible for any of us to answer. But nonetheless, they are questions. And I've taken a shot at it, so remember, this is just for thinking and wondering and considering the possibility of what is going on in our world and always has gone on in our world. So here we go. This is from Laurie Delaplante here in Ottawa. And this is a question about, she's concerned about the events all over the world, including south of the border, and in our country and many others. And she says, from the perspective of consciousness, what might be the learning purpose for our planet to go through periods of chaos, instability, natural disasters, wars, or the threat of wars, and the potentially huge loss of land and life that might result? Is it like trying to help an addict who is unable to change until they hit rock bottom, are forced to see and experience the harmful impact of their destructive ways? And she has another question too, so let's try and look at that one. First of all, there's a mixture here, Laurie, and I understand the mixture being expressed that way simply because we're human beings and we have human reactions to just about everything that might cause disasters. Our planet is basically involved with planetary things. Gravity, involved with temperature change one way or the other, and change in the environment. So therefore, there's not a lot you can do about that. So we look at that and we say, well, this is part of what happens on a planet that is rotating and also moving, orbiting the sun or the star that it happens to be orbiting. And it's unfortunately the luck of the draw. It's what happens to all of us. The other stuff is really interesting. And when we look at things, we're really, as we look at them, it might be food for thought to allow ourselves to consider how we function. And notice that nations are nothing but bigger us's, if you pardon the expression. It isn't a funny thing, but if you consider the possibility that, and I wrote a few things, simple things down that, things that some of us might do. Some of us might have fear that operates in us and through us, so therefore we try to counteract it. Might be involved with jealousy of a kind, all kinds of things to be jealous about. Anybody owning things or not owning things, or getting too much attention, or just plainly just being there, just being alive, and you're different than other people, therefore you have to be considered some kind of a threat because you're different. This is very interesting, as we often talk about the old masters or the old swamis that were involved with trying to teach us about things that we might be interested in relationship to other states rather than this one, but nonetheless this one as well. We're really afraid that we would actually act out if we attained any kind of powerful engagement that expressed the personality as important and made it important. But they were nervous about that, because not everybody will use anything that we do softly. It is the same as, right now, check yourself out and see how you engage with other people. I know you might engage one way and think it's the only way to do it because you're right. But you're doing the same as any other nation might think when they're thinking of themselves as wanting to be involved with being the top dog in a world, just a bigger environment, or saving face because someone else is showing, some other nation is showing how important they are, versus some fantasy way of thinking about the value of a nation or an individual. We do this all the time. And this has been going on for an awfully long time. That's why history becomes really important. Not so much the details, but the engagement and the individual notification that on a national level, people are quite impressed with themselves. Well, on an individual level, the same thing is true. And so, in fact, we allow that to be part of our part of what we give to our species interaction. A terrible thing to think of out loud. Competition is a really very interesting thing, because if someone shows a capability that's prior to you, you want to compete with that. You want to put them down. This happens all over the business world, all over the place. Battle is for an exchange that makes them feel more superior. And this exchange often is economic, but it can be idea-oriented as well, and wars have been fought over these things. As you know, most of our interaction with history is being based on a feudal system. It's not so different now. However, still operating there. Sometimes we just overcompensate because our ideas are such that they need to be protected. So we overcompensate in a protective manner. There's all kinds of things that occur in that. And we act like children, battling in a sandbox as adults, needing to be more important than somebody else. This is what happens here on these levels. And as you begin to notice that you don't want to be like that, you cultivate your ire and contribute in your way with intensity that negates that. And in fact, we don't understand how that could be wrong. And it isn't wrong, but it is contributing to more intensity in the world. This is, like I said, these are questions that are really hard to answer. But hard to even see a possible answer. And then you go, people can go on after that and say that, well, higher states, they should know better. They should stop us, step in, and fire up against those other bad guys who are doing something that I don't think I would ever do, not knowing that you would do the same darn thing if it were in your categorical relationship with what you think is valued right or wrong. And this is difficult to allow us to see this. Unfortunately, as you become more sensitive, you have a great fear for yourself. Just saying. As we all do. that something will impact on us. And it does. And therefore, we transfer that onto our view of what we think should be right or wrong based on the level of information that is gathered and selected and given to us. Even if that is even half right, it still puts us in a position of needing to be valued for what we think, what we expose to others as our opinion. And we are still soliciting to be more valued. The louder we speak it, the more important we are, which is not real. But it does have an effect on our species. It's a hard sell. I keep saying this. If you could, just think about it. I'm just saying, I think I'm getting a phone call. I wonder if it's somebody who can't hear. Someone we know, Marlene?
No.
Okay, sorry. We get these aberrant calls, as I'm sure you do as well. This is a very difficult thing. When you bring up addiction, I hate to bring this up, but we all are kind of addicted to how we think we see things. If that's not very clear, we consistently engage in a similar manner, always supporting that manner of engagement or opinion to be more valid than others. This is done when it's done on a grander scale, with words that are just language usable in all kinds of different places for all kinds of different reasons, usually self-supportive. Then nations battle with each other for some kind of supremacy. And this in itself is counterproductive in relationship to finding some level of balance in a world that is quite small now compared to what it was before. Yes, and also not very powerful. We're not doing slingshots anymore or bows and arrows. We're doing things that would hurt us all. But once again, the idea of winning versus losing is really strong. Finding some way of engaging differently is very difficult when the use of personal wills are so strong, yes, including ours. Yet, if we don't have them, we can't function here. See how complicated this is. So I don't think rock bottom, until we annihilate each other, rock bottom isn't there. So hopefully we can skip through rock bottom into an understanding that's different. But you can't do that until you attempt to do that on your own, for you. And that one's tough because we know that our relationship with us is quite fine. Or you beat up on you, and that's not helpful either. Really, the depth of understanding of this is a little bit beyond the surface, one could say. And we live in a world as human beings, and if we're fortunate, we try to think it through and realize that we can't do very much as an individual to stop an angle of perception from occurring. But you can do the best you can to slow it down in yourself. I think that would be helpful. And if it isn't perfect, because none of us are, then at least you've attempted to do something and play a role, an important part from my perspective, even though you're not perfect, because none of us are. But the hurting, my goodness, when you care for something and you basically fear to lose that thing that you care for. And that goes to opinions just as much, ways of seeing the world, feeling that you are more right than anybody else. You become addicted to that too. None of us are separate from these things. And it isn't easy to even acknowledge things that are with us all the time in our relationship with others and ourselves. We've lost a lot of deeper engagement with ideas that relate to doing the best you can in life. It's become doing the best you can to show others how valuable you are. And nations do the same thing. Football teams do the same thing. Baseball teams do the same thing. I suppose better at that than making our cities into the Wild West. Concept, pardon me for saying that about the poor Wild West. They couldn't do anything about that. There were a lot of factors and very strong complexities. They still exist here. So we like to think that we can be taken care of, but we have to also take care of ourselves. And this is very difficult to do. From a human perspective, how do we help ourselves and deal with our increasingly fear-based reactions to these existential threats and rapidly evolving world events? There's a big dilemma in becoming more subtly aware without even knowing you are. Your reflexes to defend and judge become stronger. And they're already pretty strong. Check yourself out every single day of your life. There'll be something, or many things, that you won't agree with. Yep. And some of them will be actually pretty interesting. Others, it's just because you don't have enough information to make any sense of things. Yeah, that's on the personal level. On the national level, they should know stuff. Well, sometimes it's not helpful to know stuff if you want to do something other than the information that's already there. How are you going to figure that one out? I don't know. So, we are presented with how it is in the world, from an angle or from a reference point that suits the presentation, folks, and they are just doing their job relative to what they think their job should entail. We take that as gospel. And it may be. Or it might be slanted in a direction to help others to align with ideas that may be true or not true. And that's how we do things. Business is basically the same way. Nations do their best to be valued relative to their environmental process. And that's how it works. And there are all kinds of miserable things that happen under those circumstances. And they have happened before. And they will probably happen again. And I said before, the dilemma is that we have bigger bombs, more acutely valued ways of being right. Well, maybe. And excuses for doing things based on economics much of the time. But this is something that is not solved in a conversation. It's solved with tremendous amounts of conversation to try and solve something worldwide. And you need listeners who are effectively interested in having that happen. Deeper than on the surface. It's a dilemma we have. And it will continue, I'm afraid. Individually, do what you can to soften, recognize what you're seeing, realize that in the scheme of things, these things have happened before, and you just happen to be living in a present where they're happening again. Hopefully, it doesn't expand, but there won't be anything that you can do about it because others are determined to continue to do whatever they do because of what I mentioned before: jealousy, anger, top dog fantasy, face-saving competition, devaluation of others just because of something that they feel might be important, or all kinds of infighting that doesn't make any sense either, or for whatever reason. That's not a solving of anything, but it is a thing that's out there in the individual world as well as national world. Do what you can to slow that down in you, and at least you'll be contributing something that might be helpful. If not in the short term, maybe in the long term. In other words, don't do it yourself. The best you can. And you will find it is very difficult to restrain yourself from intensifying. It's an idea. Once again, learning how to think is not an easy thing, and none of us have a perfect way of doing that. Very close to the same idea, and once again, horribly difficult question, is Sonia Nigam's question here in Ottawa. Can you comment on acceptance? It falls along the line, same line actually, to some degree. But it's a big word. I'm not sure there's a perfect definition of it. You can look it up in Webster's or anyone else's dictionary, or look it up online. See what you come up with. For me, acceptance is dealing with your own vulnerability and finding a place within yourself where you realize that you can engage in certain manners, certain ways, for purposes that relate to what you believe and think. Once you get to the place where you're trying to move away from what you currently believe or think into a place where you realize that something is so big you can't do much about it. Individually, I mean. You can do it, you can work with yourself, and even then you will know how difficult that is. One of the things that are really difficult, once again, is the idea that we fear what we love we may lose. And I am talking about a peaceful world, people that you love and engage with every day, your friends, maybe perhaps your neighbors. The way you think and the way you believe you think, you have to think to be the you that you believe you are. This is difficult because we're all trained from different, can you imagine 8 billion people coming from different angles. There are numbers of people who will align because they're not even thinking. They're saying, okay, that might be kind of a thinking. Emotionally, they align with something. And in that way, they're kind of thinking too. But what many individuals and whatever they come up with, it's another option. Somehow the individual who comes up with it thinks it's really valuable. Doesn't necessarily mean it is, but they think so. So, as one gentleman said to me one time, if you don't tell people how able you are and how spiritual you are, how are they going to find out? And I said, it is better they don't. It is better they don't. He said, well, you can't get away with that. You got to explain that one. I said, well, look, if you put yourself out there as knowing an awful lot, they'll try to come up with something you can't ever know. I said, well, just say you don't know. What's wrong with not knowing? If they don't know, you're with them. You don't know either. I have no idea. This is what I think might be true, but it doesn't make it perfectly true. That's how you engage with people who want you to be wrong or want you to be right. The one thing I've always thought of in relationship to spiritual growth is that the fundamental, interesting byproduct of love from a higher state. I tried to figure it out over and over and over and over again. Now think about this. Here we are in these levels, and we're trying to understand what it would be like at a level beyond our imagination. Now, not within our imagination, beyond our imagination. Okay, now we have to come up with an idea that relates to something beyond our imagination. How are you going to do that? Well, here's one. There's an infinite love. It might be an energy flow that exists in all of us, keeps us alive. Oh yeah, some people call it life force, some people call it love, some people call it whatever they want to call it, doesn't matter. It's there. Okay, if it's there. All right, let it be there. So we have a right to use that flow for anything we want to use it for. So therein is the rub. If that's true, why would a higher state give us that much? Possible capability when we're such youthful beings? Oh, that's easy. We hide it. They hide it in ignorance, in the fact that we use that love to love ourselves, and whatever comes out of our mouth more right than anybody else's. Every teacher is, and every individual on the planet has felt that same thing. And every nation feels the same way, whatever angle of interaction that they have for what they call life, or the right way to live. Okay, just a minute now. At a higher level, they must know that that's going to happen. So, how much love do they have, or it have, for us when it gives us that love to practice with, engaging in a world that relates to matter? And it is known that we will be at that level where we would be working for being important ourselves. Oh, also used for a lot of other things. Engaging with others, communicating, loving, caring for others, because we're searching for a love that is inside us that will give us that subtle reference of wonderness and soft and gentle embracing aspects that relate to almost like being at the proverbial ideal mother's knee, or parental knee, because males have been very mothery themselves. So when you're looking at these things, you're not thinking about the possibility of how that could happen. You're thinking about how it is happening, or your version of how that might be. If that higher state wants all of us to be at that higher state, and a transformation that can occur during that gap period of a continuum that allows an individual to transform from self-love to an engaging love of all things that live, no matter what, and to ride that place of reference, no matter what it looks like, if it trusts us to get to that point, then personally, I think we should attempt to at least try a little bit. Well, another hard sell, one could say. We have a hard time accepting that possibility. As a matter of fact, it's in our world, it's more a determination not to accept that possibility, because we're in a stage where the individual, no matter who you are, comes first. And it's a love for the individual. So you accept you as you are. until you start seeing how you are. And even then, you fear not to attempt to change anything. Because whatever it is you think you are, it's working according to you. Same is true for all of us. Sorry. Not that sorry. It's just, it's hard to take in. So a level of acceptance at that level, we are accepted at that level. No matter what we fancy is important to use that love for. There must be a hope that we will see through this fantasia of supposed love that we have for acting out like a child. I don't know how easy that is for you to make sense of. And this is not a head figuring out. We don't have as much experience in this area. So we use our emotional head to support our relationship with how we believe things might be. And then we go about doing whatever it was that we do to allow ourselves to feel comfortable about ourselves. This is probably all we can do right now. But increased awareness, not of your self-love only, but of the understanding that supports a kind of, how can it be possible that I could be loved under my circumstance? We don't normally put it that way. And so we usually go to the father-mother thing. Well, if that flow was a parent, not a parent, but a parent, it would love us. The allegory is hard to sit right. Because you try that on with any circumstance that you have a difficult time with. And it's hard. Same as the other question. So, one thing that we can do is to try and understand that things on this level are not easy to handle in relationship to loving. But as we do that, we remind ourselves that as we engage with things, our opinions are focused on what we love, and that is ourselves. And that is fundamental, but not negative. See, loving is interesting. As many of us have found, we can love more than one thing at a time. Fascinating. We can love to read. We can love to engage with sports. We can love a person. We can have friends that we care for. Got to be careful with those love words, because, jeepers, we have definitions. We've already constructed that one. Therefore, we have to be careful. No, but we do. It helps us to make some sense of things, to be careful. Sociologically, we have to be careful. But nonetheless, the word acceptance, wow. Can we be okay with understanding that if a set of circumstance in our world triggers something that affects our world, that we personally are involved with it and can't do much about it individually. But as a species, you can be helpful. And perhaps it causes another dilemma. You engaging with you may cause more love to come into this plane. More acceptance, more compassion, more understanding. But this plane, then perhaps and even now, has a very difficult time in itself to allow itself to be comforted in a gentle manner when its focus is on being important and more significant than anything else. I don't know how you'll take this kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And it's no matter which way you take it, it'll be you thinking things through relative to how you believe you need to think because of the training that you hold dear within yourself. We can only do what we can do. And that's not a cop-out, that's a reality. Later on, in a different engagement with reality, perhaps we can do something different. I think that would be pretty interesting. But in the meantime, your hurts will be aligned with my hurts and somebody else's hurts in a context that will be similar to the ones that would hurt any others. It's worth maybe a thought or two when you're not reacting, because when you're heavy-duty reacting, you cannot think. There's only one option, and that is the option that your love for you will only allow. It's okay. It's the nature of our planes, and that's what makes it hard right now. So I do wish everybody well, and keep doing what you can do, the best you can, whatever it looks like. Maybe that can be helpful. Now we're going to meditate for about an hour and roughly, and I wish everybody well. Please take care of yourselves.
Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Bhagavati Bhargavi Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Bhakti Varade Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Maya Vishwamohini Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Ishwari Narayani Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Mamba Lalita Devi Jagadambe Janani Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Mamba Lalita Devi Tvam Ananda Sagari Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Sarvamangala mangalye Shive sarvartha sadhike Sharanye Triambake Devi Narayani Namostu namo namaha. namo namaha. Om Aprakesha Mahotsahakaranaye namo namaha. Aprakesha Mahotsahakaranaye namo namaha. Om Mahesha Yukta Natana Tatparaye namo namaha. Chintanaye namo namaha. Nijabhartrukamhoja chintanaye namo namaha. Om Vrishabhadvaja Vignana Bhavanaye namo namaha. Vrishabhadvaja Vignana Bhavanaye Janma mrityu jara roga bhanjanaye namo namaha. Janma mrityu jara roga bhanjanaye namo namaha. Om videya mukta vignana siddhidaye namo namaha. Nashanaye namo namaha. Om Rajarajarchita Parasarojaye namo namaha. Rajarajarchita Parasarojaye namo
And now we'll just begin to do the balancing and grounding. And have a good evening, everybody.